What's going on, guys? Car Review Guys here. My name is AJ, and this week we have the 2024 Genesis GV60 Performance. All-wheel drive is standard. We're going to get into the details. If you are new to my channel, we are going to start with a cinematic, go to the exterior, talk all stats that I think that you would like to know, and then we're going to go to the interior, and then we're going to take it on a drive. New car every single week. We are almost to 20,000 subscribers, less than 200 away. Thank each and every one of you. So without further ado, let's get right on into this. Let's roll. So let's start with some of the stats, as I mentioned. So this GV60 has dual electric motors pushing up to 483 horsepower, standard all-wheel drive on the performance model, and the curb weight is right around 4,890 pounds, and that's going to be pushing this GV60 Performance from 0 to 60 in about 3.7 seconds. Of course, battery range is important, and on the Performance, it is going to be around 235 miles. And then charge time is also important. Battery from 10 to 80% has a charge time on a DC fast charger of around 18 minutes, which is really good. On a level 2 charger, you're looking at about 7 hours. Now, touching on the vehicle dimensions, overall length 14.8 feet. Your width is 6.2 feet, and your height is around 5.2 feet. And last but not least, pricing, that is going to be starting for the base rear-wheel drive around $52,000. The tester today is $71,320, including the destination charge. Now, on the exterior, you're going to see this is the Hanama, which is like a, I don't know, like a bluish teal, I believe, and I don't know this for sure. Maybe I missed it and didn't see it on the Genesis website, but I think that's named after Hanama Bay in Hawaii, which would make sense because that's really what the water looks like. You have 9 exterior colors and 2 interior colors to choose from. Just taking a quick exterior walk around, you are going to notice right in the front, there is a camera in the front right there for the 360 camera. Super bright LED headlamps. You can see there are 10 individual there, 5 on the bottom, 5 on the top. Very bright at night. Camera, unfortunately, just doesn't show up how bright headlights are at night, so I really don't bother filming it because I've tried it several different times and it just doesn't come across. So trust me, super bright at night. Now, on the performance model, you're going to have 21-inch wheels, and I love the color of them. Kind of like a gunmetal gray type of look. On the mirror, again, more cameras, so that way you can have your 360 camera. You're going to notice that the door handles are popped out right now because I don't have it locked, so that's simply you're just going to be able to open it up. If I wanted to lock it, I would just press right there, and they'll go flat. So I press it, there it goes, and the mirrors start to fold. To unlock, simply just press, pops open, you're good to go to get to the interior. Now let's continue walking around to the back, and GV60, Genesis spelled out. Pretty clean look here, very simple. Looks pretty good in the rear. And then again, you're going to see a camera located right there. In order to pop the rear hatch, you can see this little area. Just press and up it will go. You're going to notice it is black here in the center, which is very smart, so that way you can lay things on there and not get it all dirty. Yeah, so, and then for the amount of exact space, I'll put it here on the screen for you, and that's how much cubic feet you have. Before we test if it's easy to get into the rear or not, let's touch on the door panel very quickly. So this is all soft touch up here, which is like a ash gray. And then this is glacier white, hence the interior name, ash gray glacier. And it is really cool. And then these stripes are literally like reflective. I don't know if you can tell if I move different angles maybe. Literally reflective, which is really cool. It's also lining all of the seats. Definitely a neat little touch. All soft touch here for your elbow. And this is like an Alcantara. You've got heated seats, 3 levels to it. Obviously lock, unlock, and then your window switch and a cup holder in the door. Not something you see too often. And then you have window shades as well. Alrighty, time to test getting in the rear. Let's see what this is like. Again, I have a super stiff neck right now. I think I tore a muscle. Oh, I can hardly bend. We're getting towards the end of it. It's feeling a little bit better. I have a little more movement. If you've been watching the last couple videos, definitely more movement today than I've had, but still trying to be really careful. Nonetheless, as you can see, even being injured, I was definitely able to get in here. You do have to duck a little bit. I'm 5'9" if you're new to this channel. Now that we are in here, we have probably, I would say, 1.5 inches, 2 inches above our head, and then up here is where I drive. You've got another, I don't know, 3 inches maybe up there. So decent amount of space in the back for sure. Obviously, this is not a very large vehicle, so I wouldn't expect there to be a ton, but it's actually more spacious than what I expected. Now, the other thing to note is if you would like to have a little more legroom, you do have the buttons here to move the passenger seat forward, assuming no one is sitting there. You have 2 USB-Cs, little cubby hole with a net down there, and then 2 cup holders right there. Time to test getting in the front seat here. Little bit easier in the front, just because, again, pillar's kind of angling up. Back there, it's kind of plateaued flat and almost going back down. It's the common trend on most cars that are even just a little bit tight to get into. Very easy as far as ride height goes. Yeah, so I don't really see any problems even if you're injured to get into this, or if you're older and have issues raising your leg and you can't move really that well. This is probably a vehicle that's pretty easy to get into. Checking out the driver's door very quickly. So all very similar to the rear. You have all of your mirror adjustments there. Memory seating 1 and 2. Nice little thing there, welcoming you. Now, this little thing is like what you see all over the commercials, and people really think it's neat. I do think it's neat too. So if you go to start the vehicle, which up there's your push to start, if I just press that, this is basically going to flip over, and that is now your gear shifter. While we are here, you have heated seats, cooled seats for obviously both sides. You have a heated steering wheel. You have a wireless phone charger, 2 cup holders, dual zone climate, and then you do have buttons as well for all of your media, navigation, maps, so on and so forth, or it's also a touchscreen, and you also have a toggle right here. So a bunch of different avenues for whatever you would like. Up in front of us, we do have a nice heads-up display, and then obviously this is all digital instrument cluster, which is super nice. I have it on map right now, and then map over here as well, so it's nice to be able to have both. Checking out the steering wheel, I love whenever they're open in the center. Very easy to just hold on to here in the center, so I do love the design. Super soft leather on this steering wheel, which is nice. Feels very, very premium. All of the toggles, they don't really have any wiggle to them. They're nice and firm, which is also very good build quality. As far as your drive modes go, you can see right here, I can press it, comfort, sport, and eco. And then if you're in sport in particular, you can hit this boost button, and that's what's going to give you the max horsepower for a short time in order to launch the vehicle. Up above on the mirror, you are going to notice there are 3 buttons for your home link, and then you have a sunglasses holder there, and then up above us is a full panoramic roof. Something that I thought was kind of neat, which you may like or don't, totally up to you, but this glove box is literally a drawer. I've actually never seen that before. Maybe I'm crazy, but that's the first time I've seen that. Kind of neat. With that said, I think we've covered most of the things. The last thing that I'll note, which I was really going to cover on the drive, but the driver's side seat does have ergo motion seat, which is really like a seat massager. It's not going to need you, but it is going to move all of the different parts of the seats, and it's actually not bad. It feels pretty good. But I think it's time we get this 2024 Genesis GV60 Performance all-wheel drive out on the road. So I've been driving this vehicle around for a few days now, and unsurprisingly to me, having driven other Genesis products, it is very refined. It is super quiet, and it's even more impressive, as I've already stated, than other EVs. When you can get an EV to be quiet, that is like the best thing you can do, right? Because usually you have some motor noise to kind of drown out some other noises. You have nothing in an EV. Like, it's just silent. So the amount of engineering that goes behind it to get it this quiet is impeccable, honestly. And when I'm speaking of noise, I'm talking all the way around, right? Wind noise, tire noise, road noise, all of the noises, right? There's hardly any in this. So if you're looking for something that's super quiet, this is definitely something that would be near the top of my list if you're obviously in the market for an EV. And then the other thing to mention on the Genesis, for this, you're going to get a 3-year, 36,000-mile maintenance plan, which is all included with the purchase. So that's nice. For the first 3 years of ownership, you don't have to worry about a single thing. And then, of course, the warranties on Genesis are always really good as well. Bumper to bumper, 5-year, 60,000-mile warranty. And then, of course, the powertrain, you're looking at 10-year, 100,000-mile, which, again, is really good. The power in this is very good. It's EV. So if anyone of you guys have been, or gals, been watching anything about EVs, or you've driven one, ridden in one, you're gonna know that it is just instant. That's what the torque does. That is the one thing EV is really good at. Like if I put my head back, I gotta be careful because of my neck right now. It literally will hurt my neck. If I just press it, like it's gonna put you back immediately, even in comfort mode, which is what I'm in now. If you go into sport, it is going to be considerably more responsive. So the different drive modes drastically change this car all the way around. That's one question I always get, is about the drive modes. So that is definitely your answer there. Now, we are coming up to our cattle guard here. We do every single vehicle over it. If you don't know what a cattle guard, I would look it up, but it's basically a grate so cows won't go over it. It's usually bumpy and noisy. Here we go. So you can see me move. So the initial response and comfort is kind of bouncy, and then it just absorbs it. So my body comes down and it stays. It doesn't kind of keep moving around. And then as far as the noise goes, again, that's definitely in the upper echelon of all the vehicles that I test. Very quiet. There's no vehicle that you're going to go over that and just flat out not hear it. That's not possible. This vehicle, let's talk about some of the safety things. Of course, blind spot monitoring is equipped. You have also got lane centering, which I believe they call like highway assist, drive assist 2, something to that effect. Every manufacturer calls it something different. Long story short, it is true lane centering. It will stay lane centered at all times, which is very nice. The other thing to note is obviously with that, it does have adaptive cruise control, and all of those work very good in every Genesis product I've owned. This is no different for sure. For me, if I was in the market for an EV, this would definitely be one of the ones that would be kind of near the top. The only thing for me personally, and I mean literally the only thing I could literally come away with for this, is I think the exterior just comes down to personal preference, whether you like it or you don't. Now, as far as the interior, super nice. As far as how it rides, drives, super nice, upper echelon for sure against everything that I test. So you just have to determine whether it's something you like or don't. But as far as performance, I think you'll really enjoy it. If there's anything that I am missing or anything you want to know, just comment down below. I try to respond to every single person. Almost to 20,000 subscribers, so appreciate it if you help me get there. But as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.